Art, it's been too long since we've had an Ant Wright related conversation on the channel. Shout out to friend of the program. It's Ant Wright. Ant Wright, hope all is well with you, my friend. Ant had a tweet over this holiday weekend. This is why I love Ant, by the way. It's 36 minutes before the hot dog eating contest on July 4th. I would assume, I would hope that Joey Chestnut, American hero, is in his bag preparing for the biggest day of his year on the Ant Wright television screen in the Ant Wright living room. And Ant is just thinking Big Ten hoops. Ant tweets out at 11:24 a.m. on the 4th of July, who wins the Big Ten in hoops, Purdue or the field? I saw this tweet come through my timeline cart. I chuckled because of the timing of it, and I love Ant. And then I immediately swiftly voted for what I believe is the correct answer. I didn't think it was an overly difficult prompt, and I'm surprised by the results, Cart. Before I reveal the results of this prompt to you, I'd like you to answer the prompt before you know what the world thinks. Who wins the Big Ten in hoops, Purdue or
Uh,
the field?
yeah, so as you did that, I was in the background logging on Twitter, looking up my good friend Ant Wright and voting for Purdue.
That's what I did.
Yeah, that's it. That's the right choice.
So very quickly, like without hesitation, I had zero hesitation when I saw, other than laughing about the timing of it and thinking about Joey Chestnut right now. Uh, Zero hesitation. Purdue is
Yeah,
the obvious
none,
answer here, right?
none for me.
Well, 64% of the internet disagrees. 64% of voters in Ant Wright's poll, 4,903 votes, voted for the field to win the Big Ten this season over Purdue. That stunned me, absolutely shocked me. I thought more people would be in line with you and I, that Purdue is, like, bar none, far and away, the favorite not only in this league but in the country next season. And it appears that the majority is not ready to consent to that, Cart. Should we think twice about this? Because I will say this is where I'm coming from on this and why I wanted to have the conversation. I'm getting a little bit of PTSD to a year ago when I also thought there was a sizable gap between the best team in the league and second place. Now, again, this is my worst take of all time, but I thought Indiana's roster last season under Mike Woodson was that much far and away better than the rest of the league. I had Indiana winning the league by 3 games. And there's nothing similar about Mike Woodson's Indiana team last year and what Purdue's team under Matt Painter will be this year. They have a great coach. They have a National Player of the Year favorite. They have two All-Americans. They have an international stud. They have everything. So it's different. But the situation is the same from my end, where I'm picking this team that did not win the league last year, thinking they are far and away better than everybody else. And in the end, I looked really foolish a year ago doing that. Is there any world where maybe this should be a wake up call to people like you and I who think Purdue is that much better than the rest of the league, coming off a year where this core led them to a middle of the pack finish in the conference?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and not set my alarm or just snooze it. I don't need a wake up call. This team is extremely well rounded. They have the best two players in the league, probably, or arguably two of the best players. They have the National Player of the Year favorite in Braden Smith. Also, like even looking deep, I made this decision just based off the top of my head, just a quick like snap of the fingers. I'm like, yeah, it's Purdue. They're the best team. They are going to. I think that's the best bet here. I don't want the field. And then you look at also like don't they have a very favorable Big Ten schedule as well?
They do, but I think the favorite always has a favorable schedule because they don't have to play themselves, you know?
Well, that's a bar.
It just is
Um,
what it is. That's every single year. We're like, oh, why did the best team have an easy? Because they don't play themselves twice.
yeah, tuck that one. It's just I didn't think about it twice, and I don't think you need to either. I am shocked that that number is what it is, but maybe it makes sense given the demographic of Big Ten following that Ant Wright has, right? Like there's probably a good amount of of fans that have some spiteful thoughts against Purdue.
This video is brought to you by NBA 2KLab.com. 2K Lab worked with us last summer as well. They're one of our favorite entities in all of sports gaming. We want to show you their college basketball stadium locator challenge game. And I'm going to share a screen right now as we do this. South Carolina, bang. Oh,
Ooh,
okay, that's pretty good. Next, North Carolina. Why are we only getting the Carolinas?
please
Bang.
lock in.
St. John's, that's New
New
York.
York.
Bang.
Where's New Jersey?
We're on fire. Colorado. I actually don't know what state Colorado is.
It's it's in Colorado. There's a state of
Is that
Colorado.
this one?
It's to the right of Phoenix.
Anyway, you get the picture. This game's really fun. They've got more games as well, like Guess the NBA Player, Mystery Fantasy Draft, and more. Stay tuned for all of the college football content and games that they'll be putting together to help you get the best experience out of college football 26. Back to the video. That's a fair point. Like, hate us if you ain't us. There's probably a lot of Indiana, Illinois, Michigan State followers of Ant Wright who maybe aggressively doubt the Boilermakers, but all right, okay. You've reassured me some. Look, I wasn't pulling off of where I placed my vote, but it's enough for me to at least acknowledge that maybe I'm wrong this year, right? Because I also we thought Purdue would be awesome last year. I had them second in the league preseason last year. They did not meet that mark. I thought they were going to win the Big Ten tournament. I was doing Action Network pods screaming at people about how they got the easiest draw ever. They got a dead Michigan team. They care about banners. It's March. They're going to make a run in this tournament. No, they did not. Michigan made the run through that easy draw. So I don't know. There is an element of me that is just like, the defense isn't firmly better than last year. And last year's defense was bad enough to keep them off of championship level, even with players as good as Brandon TKR. Ultimately, I think, just respectfully, the 5 spot was so bad last year, and the 5 spot's going to be good this year, that it's enough to overlook all of my miniature concerns. But I don't know. Don't you see the similarities between the situation again? Of we think there's a favorite that's so much better than the rest of the league. Could it at least be closer than we think, or am I tripping on that?
I'm look. I think it could be. I guess I'll put it like this. I'd be shocked if it's. I would say this to yourself. Wouldn't you? Would you be shocked if Purdue didn't win the league?
I think I'd be surprised, not shocked.
Those are the same things.
No, no. Shocked is when Purdue loses a recruit ranked in the 130s to Iowa. Surprised is I microwaved my chicken nuggets and they weren't as warm as I thought they would be.
Uh, it's crazy how that actually makes so much sense to me when you put it like that. Yeah, I would be surprised if Purdue didn't win the league.
So you wouldn't be shocked.
No, I'd be surprised.
Okay. All right. So then I feel like that we're on the same page then.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe
before
we
Ant
got
Wright
some.
tweeted this.
Maybe we got somewhere.
Yeah, maybe we got somewhere. How many games does Purdue win the league by next year?
7.
So they go 20-0 and nobody
It's
else.
better than everyone else. Man.
Nope.
I don't know.
What do you think their record is? 20 games in the Big Ten. If they're going to win by 7, they got to go 20-0. So what do you think Purdue's record is at the end of Big Ten year, and how much do they win the league by?
I think I don't see a world where they lose more than 3 Big Ten games.
17-3.
Yeah, they'll lose.
What
They'll
were they
lose
last year? Let me get a fact check on this.
they'll lose in Piscataway. They will also still lose at Northwestern, and they'll lose at the Breslin Center.
They were 13-7 last year.
They lost 7 Big Ten games.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Second place in the league was 14-6 last year.
What was first place?
17-3. Michigan State Spartans.
Yeah, maybe Purdue can get there this year.
I think 17-3 is hard to do.
Is it? Felt like a breeze last year.
If I had it, I would guess Purdue goes 16-4 and someone goes 15-5 this year.
So they win it by a game.
I think it's going to be a close race. Yes. I think both Michigan, UCLA, and like some dark horse will be in the mix.
Who's that 15-5 team?
I think Michigan goes 15-5.
Okay, talk to me.
I think UCLA does too.
Oh,
I think Washington might.
there's nine different teams that go 15-5.
Yeah, it's honestly everyone just keeps beating Penn State over and over again.
Penn State doesn't win a game.
Oh man, it doesn't sit right with me that 64% of the world is doubting Purdue though.
I thought it'd be higher.
How many different Purdue players currently have that tweet pinned in their locker in Mackey Arena?
Ooh.
Braden definitely does, right?
No, but I don't think anyone does, but TKR printed out a huge banner.
I
Like a
thought
big.
Braden used to be like the guy who would always be on top of this. He would have the chip on the shoulder like we do.
He's got an arm tat now. Life
Oh,
changing.
okay. All
Yeah.
right.